Hello everyone, drum tech drummer and YouTube educator Kenny Sherritt's coming to you from Rock Army Studios with the next edition of my mic placement series. Now we're just talking about basic mic placement things that will help you record drums at home for your band or for your YouTube recordings. And we're going with a standard of just 8 inputs. Now the first video talked about overhead and room mic phasing in case you decide to use a room mic for your 8th mic. But one of the fundamental miking systems that I recommend in your recordings is the snare mic, both top and bottom. So we're going to talk about some of the fundamental things you get with a snare mic sound, adjusting it in different positions so you can hear what you get from it, and then you can make a choice about what sound you want to put forth in your recording. So let's go ahead and check out snare mic placement. All right, now to start, I want to let you know we're using the Heil PR22. I absolutely love this snare drum mic. Phenomenal sounding piece of equipment that gives me all the character I need to get the sounds I want. Now I have this drum mic set at what I call the Goldilocks setting. It's kind of a slight angle to where the sound's going in, but it's brushing the diaphragm. It gets the best blend of stick sound, head sound, snare wire sound, and shell sound. Able to pick up all the buzz strokes. Now, if you want to get a little bit more aggressive with snare sound, you want to bend this thing down more into the head. Now you're getting a lot more of the shell right in the microphone, a little bit more of the head and the stick sound just coming in from a more aggressive thing. So it's actually less of the stick attack, but more of the attack of the drum. You can hear it. And I'll bring it right in there, pull it back a little bit so it's got the height. Now there's also situations where if you want more shell sound, I would actually keep this microphone right here and using this beautiful, beautiful clip on the ultimate support stands, I just slide it back a little bit and get more of the diaphragm towards the back of the shell, getting a bit more of an outward sound where we're capturing the shell side. Now this is an incredibly effective technique to get a little bit broader of a snare sound, more of the shell, and a bit more open of a pop. But a lot of times it brings in a lot of hi-hat. So if you want shell and less hi-hat, you can actually pop this bad boy right back here and take it down towards the shell to where you're actually miking the shell at home. That way if it's too much snare drum, you have the option of capturing the thickness of the snare, a little bit of the snare wires, and checking out what this does for your sound, because it may be exactly what you need. Now this is also a great option if you have another tom in the way and you're trying to coordinate having multiple toms and a hi-hat. Sometimes you can pull it back, and by feathering the angle of the diaphragm against the shell, it's not so absorptive of the sound and you still get some of the bottom snare without getting too much bottom snare. Speaking of bottom snare, let's check out the bottom snare mic, which I consider essential for a great drum recording. Now again, I consider this essential to have for a good drum sound. It gets the bottom air of the kick, it's the bottom wire of the snare drum where you get all your snare beauty, the sensitivity of the snares, and get a full, complete snare sound. And in a moment, I'll show you the difference of having one and not having one, but I do want to point out a few tips for using one. The first tip you gotta know is when you put a mic underneath the exact opposite direction of the other diaphragms, you have to flip the phase of your bottom snare mic. That way it's in the same phase as the top snare mic. It sounds absolutely delicious. And we'll see what that sounds like too when we flip the phase and show you with and without, with and without. But until then, I'm going to show you the main angle I like to use right here is this one, where I flank it with the microphone, where it's like they're in almost an XY pattern facing each other, going to the same point to maximize the amount of phase perfection you can get. If they're both going at the same point and then you flip it, it's almost like creating a mirror image of this top microphone. So let's see what this sounds like. Get a buzz roll. Kind of hard to do with my elbows up in the air, but the point being is you get all the richness of this snare sound from this under mic. Now if I reach in here and bend this straight up and take it a little closer, And of course, this is the only not Ultimate stand I'm using, and it's a total pain in my butt. That's why I love Ultimate support stands. Come on, y'all. But until then, we're using this PR20 from Heil underneath to capture this, and I'm gonna go ahead and jam that diaphragm a bit more at the bottom of the head, just to get a direct, straightforward bottom snare sound. Now let's see what that sounds like. You can hear the difference. It's a bit more of a direct bottom snare sound. So if you like doing a lot of heavy metal or aggressive rock, or you just get too much snare buzz in your recording, this may be a solution for you with the under snare mic. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and listen to this lovely PR20 UT PR22 combination on the snare. And we're gonna start without the bottom snare mic. Then we're gonna add the bottom snare mic in so you can see what it gives to the mix. Then we're gonna throw it out of phase so you can see what it sounds like when it ain't right. And then we're gonna throw it back in phase so you can hear what it sounds like as it should be. Here we go, y'all. All right, a little sloppy, but I think you get the point, y'all. So that gives you an image of what's going on with snare mics, done in a 3-to-1 ratio with overheads that are balanced. And again, man, I gotta say this Heil PR22 is just killing it, man. I absolutely love the way it sounds on my Dynasonic, and that's why I use this snare mic. But again, y'all, stick around and watch more miking tips, drum tuning tips, tech tips at YouTube, Kenny Sherritts. And I hope you enjoyed these videos. Until then, I want to drum on some more listening to these awesome Heil microphones on this recording, y'all.
Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe.